So everybody knows that usually when you want to record, you go for either Shadowplay or OBS. But I found an external program or another program that does actually cost money, but in my opinion, it's worth it because of the graphics quality that you get. So the gameplay you're watching right now is actually done via Shadowplay. Shadowplay does really good at doing what it does. However, I noticed that you could set the Mbps or the bitrate to 130, and it actually only records at a maximum of about 49,000, which is a huge disappointment in my opinion, because you should at least try to stick near there, and it doesn't no matter what you do. So this is your standard Shadowplay gameplay. The colors are a little bit washed out, not as crisp and as clean. You usually with Shadowplay have to do some color correction and stuff like that, etc. Stuff like that. So we can see here I'm just moving around, and for anybody who's wondering why did you do Final Fantasy 15 as the recording, well, basically Final Fantasy 15 has this issue where when you look left and right, if it's not good enough bitrate, it'll become blurry, okay? So that's how we differentiate here between, is this other program that I found actually good? So we can see here Nox moving up, we can see his shadow on his suit, we can see the overall sharpness of the text of the names in the bottom right hand corner, and we just get an overall good look right here when I move around. Alright, so we're going to go back down. Next, I'm going to switch over to this new program I found, which is called Action Screen Recorder, I believe is what it's called. And we can see right here that this is 50 Mbps. So where Shadowplay is actually supposed to be recording at 130 but only records at 50, this I literally set to 50 Mbps and it's literally recording at 50. Like it actually says, actually I think one above, so 51,000. But you can see just how much better the text pops out more, how there's better color correction, how it's more smooth. And the reason why it's more smooth is this is being recorded at 120 frames. Shadowplay can only do 60 under the program settings. It can only do 60. This is being recorded at 120 frames at 100 Mbps with no quality loss, essentially. So this one that you're specifically watching is 50 though. And I'm about to switch over to the 100 here in 1 second. So we're going to go from the 50 right here over to the 100. There is some lagginess in the video, but that's because Shadowplay was running in the background. In the 100 Mbps, I realized how to disable Shadowplay so it does not affect it. And you can see just how crystal clear and clean this gameplay is compared to Shadowplay. It is way more sharper, way more crisp, clean, and clear. The colors are more on point than Shadowplay, not as washed out. Now, what does this mean for you as a content creator? Why should you care? Well, as a content creator, when you're recording with it, you don't have to do that much color correction in your videos, which means less render time, okay? You don't even need to add more shadowing or anything like that, because of the reason being that this shadowing on this is really, really good. So you couple with the fact that Shadowplay is free, but does not offer as high as bitrate as this program does, okay? And the colors are better on this program. But overall, what do I think about this program that I found? I like it. So I thought I'd interrupt a little bit right here and basically do a direct comparison because it's a little bit difficult to tell between gameplays. Here we have a screenshot on the left, which is the Action Screen Recorder software, and we can see just how much more these shadows pop and everything like that, and the characters are more defined out. If you look in the background, you can see along the rocks right there, the shadows a bit better. Keep in mind, this was literally with absolutely no color correction done to either of these pictures right here. I literally just loaded it up in VLC Media Player and just took a picture, okay? Actually, I think I used like Windows Media Player or something like that, but literally I just loaded it up, took a picture of it, okay? And this is what it looks like. You can definitely see the comparison now. So now I'm going to switch over right here to where it's going to show you how much more clear the text is in the Action Screen Recorder. So if you take a look on the left right here, you have gather information at the Prairie Outpost. That pops way more, and it is actually more defined than the text in the right side, which is Shadowplay. And even look at the ground right here. The graphics settings were not changed. This is the exact same graphics settings across all the board, and you could just see how the left looks way better than the right. There's more color and less color correction needed during editing, which means less rendering time. And it can do literally the exact same thing as OBS can do to a degree. You can add webcam, overlay, different things like that, microphone, toggle it on and off, stuff like that as you go along. It even has an FPS counter in the top right hand corner of the screen. So there's multiple things like that. that I like about the program. However, the one drawback is it does cost actual money. So keep that in mind, guys. But it's only about 20 bucks, I think, or so for a lifetime license, which is definitely worth it. But if you're a person who wants to make sure that your gameplay looks good and that you're not getting cheaped out by the fact that it's supposed to give you 130 megabits per second, but is only giving you 49,000, then I would go and get Action. And a lot of people are probably like, well, why don't I just set 99,000 on OBS? Because OBS will wreck your shit if you're using the same computer for recording. So keep that in mind. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. What do you guys think about this new program?